Hi guys. So I don't really know where to start with this video, but I just wanted to give you guys an update. And I was really struggling with making this video for the past, I guess it's been about a month since I've posted. And I was really struggling with how to go about this video. But now that I'm kind of past it, it feels really stupid that it took me this long. But I was struggling with how much I should say or how little I should say. But it's really not that big of a deal. And honestly, the only person that it would matter to is me. So let's just get into it. Over the past month or so, a lot has happened. I honestly don't even know where to start. I don't do pregnancy updates on YouTube. I had thought about it, but it's just not something that I enjoyed or something that I wanted to do and sit down and do weekly updates. But I feel like I haven't talked about it so much that I should probably fill you guys in a little bit. I don't really know, the last time I talked about being pregnant, I don't know how far along I was, but today I am about 35 weeks, so not too much longer, and a lot has happened with her. And as far as pregnancy, I've been in the hospital once or twice in the past 2 months, I think. I was in the hospital at around 29 weeks, I believe, for pretty much preterm labor. It stopped on its own. I didn't have to have any medication to stop the contractions, which is awesome. But it was really scary, and she did great through all of it. Like, her heart rate didn't do anything crazy, so we weren't scared for that. But obviously at 29 weeks, you do not want that baby coming out yet. But it ended up stopping on its own. So, however, very scary at the time. It wasn't a huge deal, and it ended up not being a huge deal. The only other thing in that hospital visit was that I ended up having to have a chest CAT scan, a CT scan, because they were worried that I had a pulmonary embolism, which I am pretty sure is, correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure is a blood clot in the lungs, or a blood clot that's traveled to the lungs, or something like that. Because I was having a lot of chest pain and also a lot of leg pain, and somehow leg pain and chest pain mean pulmonary embolism. So I ended up having a CAT scan on my chest, and it was clear. So I mean, leg pain was just chalked up to sciatica and regular pregnant stuff, and chest pain was actually an anxiety attack, a very severe anxiety attack, which is probably what set on the preterm labor. So once we got the anxiety attack controlled, the contractions settled down quite a bit, and I wasn't needing any medical intervention. So that's that. Another thing that happened was, while I was at the hospital for that visit, I had blood work done, obviously. And nothing was said about my blood work while I was at the hospital. It was fine. They let me go home the same day. Probably 2 weeks later, I think over 2 weeks later, my doctor's office called me. Actually, I called them for something. And when they called me back was when they told me that my blood work was abnormal from the hospital visit. So obviously, one, I'm confused on why they didn't tell me at the hospital, why it took so long for them to tell me, and what the heck is wrong. So they told me that there is 3 different types of blood count or something that they measure, and all 3 of them were super low. So basically, I was very anemic. I don't remember what my numbers were, and I also don't really remember what the normal range is. I think it's your hemoglobin is supposed to be a 9 or something, and I don't remember what my number was, but it was 4 or 5 clicks too low. Like whole points, not point something, but like whole numbers, 4 or 5 too low. Whatever those numbers were, I don't remember. But, and that's in like 3 different categories, I guess, is how she explained it to me, that my body just was not either producing enough iron, or what the iron that I was giving it just wasn't processing it. And I was taking all my prenatals, I was actually taking iron. I had been eating plenty of iron, so I was really confused on what was going on with that. So basically what I had to do was go and get vitamin B12 injections to help my body process iron somehow. And in that phone call, she was very adamant about, this is a big deal and you need to watch out for spotting and leaking of fluid and contractions and all these things that sound like preterm labor. And I was really upset that, like, if it's a big deal, then why did it take so long for you to tell me? And if it's not a big deal, then why are you making it sound so severe and scaring me? So, again, basically, I just went and got the injections for, I think it was like a month, 3 weeks or a month. I went and got the injections, and that was that. Nothing bad ever happened with that. I have not had my blood retested yet. I'm scheduled to get my blood retested, so I don't know if it worked. It's not something that's like symptomatic, so I don't feel any different than I did before, because I didn't really feel bad as far as like being anemic before. So we'll see. So that happened. I guess the next thing to talk about as far as pregnancy is I slipped a disc in my back, and I was a gymnast and a cheerleader all growing up, and I had hurt my back before. I had herniated multiple discs in my back in my life, but it has been years. And so I recognized the pain, I recognized the feeling, I was pretty sure that was what was happening. And because it was not pregnancy related, they thought, I ended up going to my family doctor, and I had to be put on a steroid in order to heal the nerves around the disc that were damaged and causing me to be in so much pain. Seriously, so much pain, I couldn't get on the toilet by myself. I couldn't get out of bed by myself. Like, Joey had to physically pull me out of bed and walk me to the toilet and help me off of the toilet and back into bed. That's how bad it was getting. And we live on a second floor apartment. So I was literally stuck in our apartment, and I couldn't get up and down the stairs. And he would have to go to work, and it got to the point where my grandma would have to come to our apartment right when he left for work, or else I was going to be stuck in bed or on the toilet or something. I could not take care of Cameron. I couldn't bend over to brush my teeth even. I couldn't get dressed. So that got really, really bad. I was not hopeful for just some pill, like a steroid pill. I did not think that was going to help. I didn't think that was going to do the trick, but I mean, being pregnant, there's not a lot they can do for back injuries. Thank God that pill was a miracle. It worked. It was a 7-day package, and on day 3, I was like dressing myself, going to the bathroom, and getting out of bed by myself. I still couldn't bend over and pick things up, obviously, but it was a humongous improvement. And after the 7 days was up, I pretty much felt back to normal, just super pregnant. But I still feel some twinges of like that pain every now and then, but that is so much better. Big part of that story is leading into this next story. I obviously was struggling with the stairs, but I was struggling with the stairs before I hurt my back. Just being pregnant. The stairs to this apartment, you guys, I am no joke, are like this. Like, they are the steepest stairs. there's a handrail and you have to use it to like pull yourself up like this Mount Everest of stairs. And I was struggling with it just getting bigger pregnant before I hurt my back. So after I hurt my back, we ended up having to come stay with my grandparents simply because I couldn't get into our apartment. So we ended up staying with them, or I did, for like a week, and Joey stayed a few nights here and a few nights there, and pretty much while we were here, we had just kind of come to the conclusion on a lot of counts. And this is kind of the part that I wasn't sure I'm going to get into completely. One, because it doesn't really matter, it's our choice, it's our life, and it's what's best for everybody involved in the end. So we made that choice that we were going to actually not renew our lease on our apartment in July and move into my grandparents' house. So you guys don't know, but I lived with my grandparents on and off my whole life, but from the time I had Cameron until me and Joey moved out. So until a year ago. So I've lived with them pretty consistently. Cameron is super attached to my grandparents. It's not a bad thing. It's just what he's known all of his life. We've lived with my grandparents. And while it's been wonderful living just on our own in an apartment, just, you know, Cameron, Joey, and I, it's been great. But we just decided pretty much time-wise, and I guess just us all being together is what's best for our family as a whole, like my grandparents included. It's really, really good for them to have little people around. It helps them a lot. And I'm able to help my grandma with things around the house that she is starting to struggle with, and Joey is being able to help my grandpa with things that he's struggling with. They are not struggling by any means, but they are getting older and there's things that they shouldn't be doing that they are. So it's really good for everybody involved, financially, emotionally, time-wise, and we just genuinely enjoy each other's company. All of us really are like best friends, and we all love being together. So we've made the decision to move back in with my grandparents. That being said, I am due to have a baby in like weeks. And we are supposed to be out of our apartment by July 31st. So we had a lot to do, which is also another reason that I have not filmed. We have been so stupid busy. We have 2 rooms in my grandparents' house that are completely our own. So now they're completely our own. Before, they were full. They were used as either storage rooms or like an extra bedroom / storage room. We had to clear out those rooms completely, obviously, before we could bring our own stuff in. So that took a lot. We still have not emptied our apartment, but that will be easier than what we've already done. So over the last couple of weeks, we have renovated, emptied everything in my grandparents' house, and it's been awesome. So we are partially moved in now. We're still working on it. My grandpa and Joey are actually about to begin the process of building a shed to put our larger items in that we're not going to be bringing in the house, but we don't want to get rid of. My grandpa really wanted a shed anyway, so it works out for him. When we leave, he'll have that shed. And that is a lot better than paying for a storage unit for, you know, however long we're here. We don't have an end game yet, other than we want to save. We're going to save everything we can while we're here. And then when we decide what we want to do, we'll have the money, we'll have the means, and be able to do that. Because we were doing fine but we just couldn't get ahead. Like, we were not behind, but we were not ahead. So this way we can get ahead, we can get a savings, and we can get a foundation for like our life plan, whatever that ends up being. So when we move out, my grandpa will have the shed that he wanted, but we won't have to pay for a storage unit in the meantime, which is really nice. So when that shed gets put up, we will be able to take everything out of our apartment and clean that up and be done with it. So we are pretty much moved in at this point. Our bedroom is actually an addition onto my grandparents' house that was built to be a laundry room. And I know that sounds bad, but it's gorgeous. It is a huge addition. It's got 3 windows, a door to the outside. It's beautiful. The flooring and the walls and everything is beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite room in the house. However, they built it so that my grandma wouldn't have to go up and down the stairs every time she needed to do laundry because it was getting really hard on her knees. So obviously I do not want her to do that. We're leaving the washer and the dryer in this room. And like I said, we're all really close, so it does not bother me that people will be coming in and out to do laundry. And also, I can just do everyone's laundry. So we do have a washer and a dryer in our bedroom, but other than that, it is just a really big space, a really open and pretty space. When we are done with it, when we get baby girl all set up, we will do a room tour, obviously. And I'm loving it so far. So I'm really liking how it's working out. And also we have a bedroom for both of the kids. So the house is a 3-bedroom house plus the laundry room. So my grandparents don't share a bedroom. I don't know if other people's grandparents do that, but both sets of my grandparents actually don't share a bedroom, which is just, so it's just normal to me. But so there is 3 bedrooms. So my grandpa's bedroom, my grandma's bedroom, and a really large bedroom in the back of the house. So that large bedroom was always mine growing up. It was always mine and Cameron's when we lived here. It's got really pretty blue carpet. I've always loved it. It's got great light in there. So it's big enough for both of the kids. We have baby girl's crib in there and his new twin bed, which you guys have not seen yet. It's adorable. We've moved him from a toddler bed to a twin bed, and it fits everything. Their dressers and changing table and everything. So that back bedroom works out. We're gonna get it decorated really pretty. Obviously for the first couple of weeks or months, the baby will be in our bedroom, and it also accommodates that really well. So it's big enough for her bassinet and everything that we need for her in here and still have a lot of space. So we're actually ending up with more space here than we had at the apartment. So again, it's like a win-win-win. But yeah, there is basically what's been happening in the past month. I have really wanted to pick up the camera and just vlog, but I also felt really awkward about it because I was like, they have no idea what's going on, and we're just gonna jump right into, wait, where are you? Whose house are you in? What are you guys doing? So I just wanted to give you guys an update before I started filming again so that I wasn't completely just throwing everyone into the fire, not knowing what was going on. I am going to start vlogging again. I know I've been inconsistent, and I'm not gonna make any promises either of like a schedule or like an uploading schedule or anything. I just want to vlog what works for us. I might make some other videos. Obviously I haven't been making cleaning videos because I'm too friggin' pregnant. I'm gonna be doing room tours and I mean lots of stuff with baby girl when she gets here. But you will be seeing more of us again in the near future. And I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. I've missed filming so much, so I'm really glad that we finally had this talk and we finally got this over with. So thank you guys so much, whoever is watching, whoever is still here tuned in. Thank you for being here and listening and just being a part of our life. We love filming, we love YouTube, we really enjoy that part of our life, so we're excited to get back into it. We will see you guys soon. Thank you.